Hey, Summerhill Cinema 700 here, coming at you guys with a video today showing my top 5 Blue Underground releases. I recently did a top 5 Arrow video releases, my top 5 Arrow video releases, and thought, well, let's do a Blue Underground one too, and then maybe we'll follow that up with like a Scream Factory one. Might be leaving a few of the Blu-ray companies out, like Vinegar Syndrome and Synapse Films, just because I don't have enough to do one of these videos. But maybe in the future. But for today, let's do Blue Underground because I'm a big fan of them. They release a lot of awesome stuff, and so I made a little list here just to keep myself on track here. So we'll do what we did with the Arrow video, and we'll start with some honorable mentions. So first honorable mention is going to be the Prowler here. This is a great 80s slasher film. If you're a fan of 80s slasher films, you will like this one. It's got some crazy kills. The story itself is kind of unique too. I can't remember a lot of it right now, but it's like this. It has to do with like graduation dance back in like 1945, and then like the soldier, it's like he's back to life from the dead or something like that. Can't remember for sure. Haven't watched this one in a while, but you never forget the kills. I don't know if you can see that picture there on the corner right there. That is one of the most brutal kills in a slasher film ever. But this is just like a standard Blu-ray release, single disc set here from Blue Underground, and it says on the back, one of the slasher genre's finest moments. And I would definitely agree with that. There's some slasher films, 80 slashers, that are okay, barely on par, but ones like this are right up there with like Friday the 13th as far as special effects go. In fact, special effects in this are a lot more gory in many ways. But that's the Prowler. Maybe we'll get a 4K special edition, 4K restoration of that one day here. Next honorable mention is going to be Manhattan Baby. Not one of the greatest Falchi flicks in many people's views, but I'm a big fan of this one. I love it. It was actually the first Falchi film that I ever watched. And I think this was one of the first that Blue Underground released that came with a CD soundtrack. So you got the really nice booklet. Behind this booklet's a CD soundtrack, and then you got a Blu-ray as well as a DVD. And it's just a really nice set, 3-disc set. And it was one of the first Blue Underground releases, I think, that came with this really nice style case, this clear case. They snap open nice and easily, and these are the Arrow cases are my favorite. These might be my favorite cases. They're just awesome. And this is just a fun movie. I really like this one because it probably was the first Falchi film I ever watched. And this is definitely one of the best soundtracks for a Falchi film. They all do, but especially Manhattan Baby in my opinion. Next honorable mention is another Falchi flick. This almost made it to the top 5. Just barely missed it. It's The House by the Cemetery. This is the 4K restoration version that came out earlier this year. And I did a whole in-depth video showing this release if you want to go check that out. But this is also a 3-disc set, which comes with Blu-ray, the feature film, the Blu-ray with special features, and a CD soundtrack with the lenticular slipcover. It's just an awesome, awesome release. The 4K restorations they put out are absolutely fantastic. The last honorable mention is I'm going to grab down here is this film here, which actually they announced recently that they're going to be getting a 4K restoration set for this, and this is a Vigilante. William Lustig's Vigilante. And actually, if you didn't know this, William or Bill Lustig owns Blue Underground. It's his company. So very cool to see that they're going to be doing a 4K restoration of this. Probably have the CD soundtrack as well, so probably pick that up. This is just a great crime film. Robert Forster, Fred Williamson, and just a lot of good action. Criminal scum getting what they deserve. Justice, street justice. All right, now let's get into that's all for the honorable mentions. Let's get into the top 5 now. So, coming in at number 5 here, we have Stage Fright. And I got this one, I think, back in 2017. I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, well, I got to check that out. Basically like an Italian giallo film meets 80s slasher film. And this one was directed by Michael Soavi, or Soavi. Hard to pronounce some of these Italian names. I think it was Michael Soavi, and I believe he was the assistant cameraman on a lot of Argento flicks. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but he was the assistant cameraman, I believe, on a lot of Dario Argento's flicks. And this is just a fantastic movie in general. I think this is one of the best 80s slashers that doesn't get talked about very much. And just having the mixing in those giallo, Italian giallo elements to this makes it very cool. And I did a review on this one too, if you want to go check that out, a movie review back in 2017. But basically, killer in this one is wearing an owl mask, and it takes place in this big theater. It's like these people, they're doing like a play in this big theater, and they end up getting locked in the play with the killer. And that's all I'll say, but it's just, the whole movie, you're just on edge the whole time. And just the cinematography is great. The special effects, the gore effects are also fantastic. This is just an awesome release. Hopefully they'll do a 4K restoration of this one someday. But nonetheless, that's an awesome, awesome movie. And before I go on, I'll mention that probably in September, because I ordered quite a few Italian horror movies from the Severance sale, which I haven't gotten yet because living in Canada, it takes a little longer to ship here. But once I get those, I'm planning on doing an Italian horror collection, and I'll also show my Italian exploitation, kind of like I did with that 80s slasher, my 80s slasher collection video, because that got a lot of views. People really enjoyed that, so I thought I'll do one of my Italian horror collection and throw in the exploitation and action as well. So stay tuned for that Italian collection. Number 4 here, we have another 4K restoration set here. Number 4, we have the New York Ripper. This is just awesome. This is the first time I ever watched this, was with this released, which came out last year. Again, awesome lenticular slipcover. This one, I believe, is a 2-disc set. You get the movie. It might be a 3-disc, I can't remember. But you get movie, you get tons of special features, and you get, again, the CD soundtrack. And this is just an awesome film. One of my favorite Falchi films. Some people don't like this one, but I happen to be a big fan of it. Probably because most of the film takes place right in New York City. And if you know me, huge fan of 80s New York City. Number 3 is actually going to be a tie here between these two flicks here. Both Dick Moss films. It's between The Lift as well as Amsterdam. Now again, thanks to Blue Underground, I discovered these two films. I think I got both of them back in 2017. I watched Amsterdam first, and if I had to pick between them, I would definitely pick Amsterdam. But they're both awesome. They're both crazy, wacky films. This one, you got a killer diver going around the canals in Amsterdam. And then on The Lift, you have a killer elevator, which is taking people out. And one thing about Dick Moss as a director is he also does all the music for his films, kind of like Carpenter does. So gives him an extra touch to the films. And this is just basically like a crazy action film meets 80s slasher film. The other one's just basically just a really cool horror film. And this one you get a Blu-ray and I believe a DVD combo. And these are just really nice sets. So this basically is what The Lift looks like inside. You get 2 discs, Blu-ray, DVD, and a really nice booklet. But yeah, this is just an awesome film. This might honestly be one of my just top movies in general of all time. This is just awesome. Awesome. You got to check out Amsterdam. If you like action, you'll like it. If you like 80s slashers, you'll like it. If you like both of those genres, even better. So you definitely want to check out the Amsterdam as well as The Lift. They're both awesome, awesome movies. So that's number 3. Number 2, yet again, another 4K restoration, and that is Falchis Zombie. This is the 4K restoration, not to be confused with 4K UHD, but 4K restoration. And this just looks absolutely fantastic. You get a Blu-ray as well as a Blu-ray with special features and the CD soundtrack as well. And the film has never looked this good in my opinion. There was 3 options for the slipcover. I got the one with the worms in the eye, the classic zombie there. Of course, before I got that particular version, I had the standard Blue Underground edition here. But yeah, that version is just absolutely fantastic. Tons of special features, and I think you can't really top that for the quality of the picture. And Zombies would definitely, I'd say, be my favorite Falchi flick. So that's just awesome. We'll try to clock this video, try to finish it off soon here. But anyways, that's number 2. So coming in at number 1, we're going to go down here again. Number one for Blue Underground releases, this might be a surprise to some people, is the Postapocalyptic Collection here. Mainly because of these first two films. The New Barbarians, these are three films by Enzo G. Castellari, and he's a great director. He did the original Inglourious Basterds film. This movie here, The New Barbarians, is pretty horrible. It's like Mad Max, but they're like driving around in like electric golf carts in the desert and fucking really horrible hairdos. And it's definitely it's an entertaining film. It's probably still better than any of the new Star Wars films, but in my opinion. But the highlight are these two here: 1990, The Bronx Warriors, and Escape from the Bronx. Two awesome 80s action films, exploitation. Both take place in New York City, mostly in the Bronx. We'll talk about this more when I do my Italian collection video, but these are just awesome. Two of my favorite movies, if of all time, in any genre. They're just awesome. So my number one is going to be the Post-Apocalyptic Collection here, mostly for 1990, The Bronx Warriors, and Escape from the Bronx. New Barbarians, still entertaining. But those two Bronx Warriors films are absolutely awesome. You got to check them out. So that's my top 5 Blue Underground releases, plus honorable mentions. So let me know what you think of these. What are your favorite Blue Underground releases? Look forward to hearing about that. And stay tuned for the next video. We will see you soon. All right, thanks everyone. Take care.